Hello, everyone. I hope you guys are having a wonderful day and making some really good trades. And I hope everyone had a very happy holiday, enjoyed the Christmas break, relaxed, ate some good Christmas food, ate way too much, drank too much beer, all that good stuff, and had some very, very nice gifts for Christmas. Now, talking about Christmas, where is the Santa Claus rally? All I could hear on CNBC nonstop before the December and just the first week of December is how the Santa Claus rally was going to take over December, and we're just gonna go straight up to 4,400 and ease some very nice targets are gonna come to potentially 4,800 by the end of the year. Absolute nonsense. As you guys can probably tell, we shorted the crap out of this, and for good reason. December 1st, yeah, that's one hell of a Santa Claus rally we're getting right now. Just straight down bars, negative price action. Very, very bad overall. But overall, let's keep going. Let's keep to the routine. Let's take a look at crypto first. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Then we're gonna get into the indexes and stocks, and then finally we're gonna wrap it up with commodities. And right now, Bitcoin getting some very exciting price action over the Christmas break. As you guys can probably tell, we are experiencing massive volatility. Very, very stressful times. I'm just kidding. Obviously, Bitcoin didn't do anything over the holidays. Only near the end, basically after Christmas, we start to see a little bit of a dump as we headed into the first trading day after the Christmas break, which was a Tuesday, December 27th. And as you guys can probably tell, Bitcoin is still holding this key level as support, 16,500. Basically, this level needs to hold, or else eventually we are going to capitulate. Excuse me. Maybe we're going to get some bullish burps from me. But overall, I still think that Bitcoin could potentially get a nice little rise here towards the upside. As I mentioned right here in this little bit of a pattern that I drew right here. Obviously, the prices does not have to do this exact move. It could very easily just keep trending sideways for until maybe February, and then you're going to make contact with this trend line and or this channel, the resistance of the channel right here, and then you're gonna roll over then. But I think that we are most likely going to get a nice little pump into potentially January, the first couple of weeks of January into the end of the December. We are getting some tax loss selling into the equity markets, and you're not really seeing that in the cryptos. The cryptos have been extremely sold off right here. We can take a look at some trades right here, or some cryptos. Take a look at ADA. Look how oversold ADA is at the moment, and you got this beautiful trend line that it's been keeping up with. And if ADA gets another dip towards the downside right here, I might even get into another trade right here, right around 0.235 on ADA. Again, you guys can take a look. We're probably going to start to form so we're already forming a bullish divergence here as the RSI climbs up, the price is going down. And if we make another lower here on ADA and the RSI does not dip below this previous low, I think we have a really good chance of getting a nice rally, potentially back up to 30 cents. And if we can get past that, then you're probably gonna start to take a look at levels such as like 32 cents. And if you get past that, then obviously you want to take a look at 40 cents. And if you guys are asking me why am I taking a look at the 30 cents, well, you got these previous lows that are probably going to act as resistance. As they were acting as support, they are going to be now resistance. And for this level right here, I'm taking a look at this pivot low right here, coming in line right here with this pivot high right around 32 cents and a half or 33 cents. And again, that's going to be acting very nicely as resistance. But in a very large pumps, you could sometimes resistance doesn't matter at all. And sometimes the same thing for support. A very large dump support just gets blown right through, kind of like you see these big wicks here. It kind of just blows past it, but it ultimately recovers and confirms below it. Anyways, let's take a look at some other coins right here. Let's take a look at Algo. I think I posted a trade on algo for the Discord members. So again, if you guys want to become Discord members, the link is in the description. You guys can take a look at my profit loss history. Again, algo is actually tagging the support level that I have drawn out right here. I think it's a very long-term support all the way down here. Again, this pivot low right here is going to be acting as support nicely, and the price is actually stopping right here, as you guys can see, and again forming some nice bullish divergences as well, making a low right here and then a lower low and a low again, and then you're starting, your bullish divergence keeps going and going, and then now you're just trending sideways or making even lower lows, but the RSI is climbing very nicely. You can see that the bears are starting to actually lose momentum. Shorts are piling on right now, and everyone is extremely bearish, as am I. I am very bearish in the long term, but I still think that Bitcoin can get a nice little rally here, potentially wipe out some shorts before we take our next leg down towards the downside. Again, this is all, obviously it's all speculation, but it's a very real possibility, so you never want to discount these potential plays to play out right here, or sorry, these potential scenarios to play out. All right, I think that's enough for Bitcoin. We could probably just wrap it up here for Bitcoin, taking a look at market Cipher on the weekly time frame. You could take a look at that. We actually have right now a 10 and a -2, which is quite bearish, or significantly more bearish than the last week's candle. But last week was basically the holiday, so nothing really happened there. We can take a look at the monthly. The monthly is currently at 12 with a 1 on the DBSI. Again, you're getting very, very close to that red money flow on the monthly time frame for Bitcoin. We've never been in the red money flow, mostly because we haven't had that many red candles for market Cipher on the monthly time. Sorry, we haven't had that many monthly cancels on market Cipher in general. So the data only started in March of 2017. Obviously, we've been in the green ever since. But right now, it's decreasing significantly. But something for the bulls, that we are getting very close to a green dot right here on Bitcoin. We could potentially maybe bottom out around February to March. We're gonna have to see where that takes us, but overall, this is gonna be very interesting to see. Daily time frame. Let's take a look right here. I think we have a 17 and a -5. So again, this is actually very bearish right now. 17 and -5 is not good. Not looking good for the bulls at all right here. Actually, if this level does not hold, Bitcoin could very easily just start to roll over right now. This just because I outlined that we could get a pump doesn't discount the fact that we could very easily roll over, and that's why I've protected myself with stop losses. Or again, if it does start to roll over, I'll just get stopped out and take a small loss, while other people just go moon boy to the moon and just go all in all the time, and then they're gonna get wrecked in this scenario. Overall, 17 and a -5, red money flow, momentum waves starting to go down. Things are looking not too great for Bitcoin right now on market Cipher on the daily time frame. 4-hour time frame, you do have a green dot right now for Bitcoin. However, we are in that red money flow, so that's not very good to see. Momentum waves, you're starting to get pretty low right here, tagging that white line. We could very easily go below that. Let's see if this green dot confirms. DBSI with a 20 and -2, which is quite bullish, but again, red money flow. Overall, not looking that great for Bitcoin right now. Let's take a look at the equities. Let's take a look at the Dow Jones, the S&P, and the Nasdaq, and the Russell 2000. And basically, the Dow Jones is probably the best performing one right now out of all the indices. After all, we rallied so much, and now all the stocks inside the Dow Jones are being bought like crazy. Caterpillar, ExxonMobil, all these very, very, very high value stocks are just getting picked up like crazy. But you know what? Not the institutions, but the insiders are starting to sell. You're starting to see some insider selling in a lot of these value names. So just please take that into account when you're starting to accumulate value. Oh, it's time to get into value. Time to get into value. Oh, it's all I can see on CNBC. Value this, value that, value, value, value. If all the indices sell off, trust me, the Dow Jones is going to sell off as well. Let's take a look at the S&P 500. Again, told you guys that we were shorting 4100. A lot of YouTubers, a lot of bullish people without the pretty much no knowledge of what's going on in the real economy, just keep thinking that we're going to go up regardless of how the economy is performing. They actually maybe don't understand how bad the economy really is. But overall, I understand what's really going on, and what is going to happen, and that's why we're shorting these levels. I know it's very obvious that, you know, it's the most obvious trend line in the world. The institutions are obviously going to push this above, and we're just going to go, we're going to break it. We're not going to get rejected. But yeah, you can see that we actually did get a nice giant wick on the Onda trading view future. So this obviously stopped out a bunch of people who were short at this level and had their stops maybe set above right around here. Well, they got wicked out definitely right as we passed the 125. I think this was the FOMC day or the CPI day. I think December 13. Let me take a look here. December 13 was the consumer price index day, and then we had a huge pump, and then we just gave all those gains up. Same thing for the Dow Jones as well. We had a massive wake up and came right back down. And again, I remember some people, members in Discord, were telling me this is extremely bullish. This wick right here is really bullish. Absolute nonsense. Could not disagree more. This is a complete topping candle right here, and we didn't even recover. To negate this topping candle, you actually have to go above it, above 41.50. So, you know, or above 41.41. But obviously we didn't do that at all. We remained bearish again. And right now the S&P closed below 3,800. We're gonna have to see if it can come back above and reconfirm above. But if we keep this downwards momentum, we're really gonna start to, you really want to start to take a look at 3,600 and 3,650 as your next level of support. But overall, my major target, again, I've told you guys this many times, is going to be right around 3,400 to 3,200. I'm going to be taking a look at potentially getting into a heavy long if we get to 3,250. Again, you guys could take a look at some levels of confluence right here. You have a pivot high and then some two pivot lows right there. So again, that could be a very nice area of support for the S&P 500. And I don't know what's going to drive the markets down there. It could be more bad news. It could be Jerome Powell getting more hawkish. It could be more bad economic news coming out. And I think in my opinion, I'm starting to think that the bad economic news is going to be bad for the markets. Right now, bad economic news is bullish for the markets. We want high unemployment. We want people to lose jobs. We want, obviously inflation going down is good for the economy, but we want to see all these indicators of the economy showing that we're going to be headed towards a recession, which is really bad, right? First of all, because all the market wants is Jerome Powell or the Federal Reserve to cut rates and just print money away like they did before. They don't care about how the economy is, but eventually when Jerome Powell does not pivot and he stands his ground firm for a good amount of time, I don't think it will be for much longer, the market's going to start to tank. They're going to roll over because they're going to realize that, wow, the economy is in really bad shape, and they're going to see earnings take a hit. Then they're going to sell off their stocks because the earnings are bad. Now suddenly companies are getting, they're starting to lay off thousands and hundreds of workers, and it's already happening in the tech sector. You saw Meta lay off a bunch of workers. Tesla's cutting 10% of their workforce. You can see that the Tesla was actually slowing production now because of the reduction in demand as well. Anyways, moving on, Nasdaq, same thing, but Nasdaq's probably the worst performing one out of all of them, even worse than the Russell 2000, although I think the Russell 2000 is not too far from catching up. But again, the Nasdaq back to its lows, back to its its October lows right here, right around 10,700. Once this level breaks, your next level that you want to take a look at is the March 2020 pre-COVID highs, right around 9,800. That's going to be a major level for the Nasdaq. I think we're going to get a nice bounce from there once we get there. And the Russell 2000 next level of support is going to be right around 1640. Right after that, I'm probably going to be taking a look at potentially maybe 1581. But again, we're going to have to see what's going to happen there. I think we're going to get a pretty significant bounce if we can get maybe right around 1450. That would be a nicer area to long, but we're going to have to see how this market how low this market goes, or if it does go even lower at all. US 10, we can take a look at very quickly. We're going to take a look at the 10-year yields actually just rising up right now. Maybe the bond market is starting to realize that maybe the rate hikes are not over yet, because you could see this big drop in the 10-year yields. The market started. They were starting to think that Jerome Powell was going to pivot in December, completely cut the rates, and that was exactly not the case at all. And we could see that the yields are now starting to reverse. DXY, same thing. It's now starting to stop and bottom out right here. We could potentially, if the DXY gets above 105 and we start getting some higher momentum right here, I think we have a pretty good chance that the DXY might even come back up to 115, and we could chop in this area for all of 2023, depending on what the other countries do with their interest rates and how high their inflations are overall. But yeah, anyways, not very bullish on 2023 at all. Again, I know the hyper bulls are really gonna hate this video. The dislike button is there as well for the people who are just mega bullish for no reason. Let's take a look right here at gold. Again, gold right here is in a very bearish pattern right now. Again, I am a very big proponent of gold. I'm very bullish on gold, but I still think gold is due for a nice little pullback here. I think if we can get right around 1750 to 1725, that will be a nice area of support for gold. And then we could potentially consolidate for our next move and then get our next rise towards the upside. But overall, this is a rising wedge, and you're starting to form a bearish divergence on gold on top of that. But does not discount the fact that gold could very easily pump towards the upside if the DXY starts to roll over. Oh my god, where's my water? Oh, I don't have any water. Okay, let's keep going. Let's just finish this video or power through it. Silver getting very close to some resistance here, right around $24.65 is going to be my next level of resistance for silver. I would actually place a pretty big short on silver if we could get to this level right here. I would be very interested in shorting silver. But again, I'm very bullish on the metals. I'm very bullish on silver as well. I think silver has probably the most bullish pattern out of them all. It's actually a very gigantic bull flag right here. If you guys want to take a look at it, actually, let me just get rid of this right here. Extend the right line. We're not going to extend the right line. We're just going to copy paste it right here, and then you have a nice measured move right here. If silver gets rejected here but then bounces back, and then we get our breakout, then you can even easily set a price target of $47 or $48 for the price of silver. And guess what? That is the previous all-time high, I believe, for silver. I think that's the highest point it reached. Oh yeah, look at that. You got two previous all-time highs right here, right around in the 1980s when I forget the brothers were pushing up the price of silver. And then, we took that out a little bit right around $49. But man, oh man, would that be a nice move for silver. And actually, silver is in a very monthly, very bullish, one of the most bullish patterns that you could imagine. It is a cup and handle for silver. So could you imagine if silver just took off to the moon, right? I think this is what it is. I think I already drew this before. This line represents where silver could be going, $700 an ounce. I'm kidding. That is very out of this world. We would never see that ever, unless the dollar fell through the floor like a rock just dropping through the ocean. Then yeah, you could see silver probably going there. But by that point, you're gonna have bigger problems than silver going to $700. Oil getting a nice pullback right here. I think oil could get a bounce back up to 81, potentially maybe $83. We might get some wicks up there. But overall, these are some very heavy resistance levels for oil. Eventually, I think oil is going to give in, roll over, and we're going to head down to $65 a barrel for 2023. And here we go. Right here, that's your major trend line right here for oil. And again, I think I've reiterated this many times that I'm very bearish on oil because I think that we are, as a whole, going to go into a global economic slowdown, a global recession. And all the countries are going to go into a recession as well. And then we're going to see a slowdown, which means oil will go down because oil is a demand-driven commodity. Anyways, guys, thanks for listening. If you want to see my trades, the link's in the description. I'm going to be doing a profit loss history review at the end of the year or at the beginning of the year. And to finish off, if you guys made it all the way to the end of this video, you guys will know that I'm actually going to give you guys an opportunity to become lifetime members for gold members for 50% off. Right now, it's like 500 USDT to become a lifetime gold member. Instead of paying monthly, you become lifetime, but it's going to be 50% off, so it's only going to be 250 USDT. So I'm going to make an announcement tomorrow in the Discord, but you guys get a sneak peek right now. So if you guys are interested, feel free to message one of the mods or me, and I will be more than happy to help you out with that transaction. Love you guys. Peace.